Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you're here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today I'm going to talk about how to deal with it when you fail after working so hard. So I thought I would talk about this today because this is something I'm dealing with right now. I talk about this all the time, but I do personal development every day, and I share what I learn with you. And so I'm not going to go into details because it's personal and it's really not relevant here. It's not really important. But Richard and I have been working really, really, really hard to reach a goal. And it turns out we missed it by a tiny, tiny amount. And we were so close. And the kicker, though, is we missed this goal because I made a huge mistake. I transposed a number. And so we didn't have the right target in mind. Remember, I talk about you have to know where you're going? Well, that was my mistake. It was 100% my mistake. And my mistake came with a huge price. So I'm looking really hard to see if there's a way to fix this, but I think it's done pretty much, and there's nothing much I can do now. Sometimes that is the case. I always tell you that if that didn't work, try something new. But it's kind of like if you make a mistake, like you run a red light and you get T-boned in the middle of the intersection and you die, obviously that mistake cost you a lot, right? You can't go back and do it again. You can't fix it. And so sometimes things are like that, right? And but obviously mine's not that serious. I mean, I'm still alive. Yeah, everything's great, right? But I don't do well with letting go, right? Loss is hard. Loss of any kind is painful. And loss is especially tough when it gives away to the cruel honesty that you're just not going to get what you want, right? And it's even worse when you realize it was you who caused it. So we've all been told at one point or another how life isn't fair, right? And while this is true, simply knowing this fact alone still doesn't make us feel any better when something that we really want doesn't happen, right? And then there's this quote: remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. My daughter reminded me of this the other day. Potent words spoken by the Dalai Lama that I've frequently seen on personal development sites. And it's pretty comforting, right? I mean, that stressful period that's already draining, it's horribly draining and it's miserable. It might actually be for the best. Of course, we don't know that, right? And of course, it doesn't appear plausible that the best is going to stem from the ugly crying that you're presently experiencing. But maybe it will, right? Maybe you don't know why or how it could come to be, but there is pure hope in that statement. Hope that not only things will turn around, but they'll turn around for the better. So here's the thing. I mean, and when this happens, there's always ways of handling the situation that are far more productive than taking on an attitude of defeat and feeling sorry for ourselves, right? It's okay to feel sorry for yourself for a day. I did. I seriously, I turned on Lucifer, my favorite series that I'm into right now, got a big bag of popcorn and parked myself on the couch, right? And that's okay for a day, right? But then you have to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on. So I have a couple of key things to consider during those times when you're really disappointed because you were able to get what your heart really desired. And so they're also the same things I'm working on right now. So the first one is appreciate the needs you do have. Appreciate or being able to separate the things that you need from what you want is extremely important in life. All around the world, there are people who don't even have the most basic things that most of us take for granted. I'm not saying it's wrong to go after things other than basic needs, not at all. But try to avoid getting these things mixed up. I have so many things in my life that I'm grateful for. I do. I have many, many things, and my screw up doesn't take all those things away. You know, I'm not your mom telling you to eat your peas because there's starving children in China, quote, or wherever. I mean, sorry, that's what I heard as a child, right? That when I didn't want to, I can't stand peas. And when I wouldn't eat them, that's all I heard my whole life. You have to eat because there's starving children. And I don't know where my mom got China from, but hey, and I'm not saying that you can't have what you want because others don't. I'm saying that just appreciate what you do have. Right? Appreciation helps us to see the overall picture. If you look at each time that you don't get something you want, I can guarantee you, if you really think about it, you can find something in your life that you do have that will help balance that out. If you were to go through life getting everything and anything you wanted, how much do you think you'd appreciate those times when you actually do get what you're going after? And then honestly reflect on why you didn't get it. This is really super important. As time goes on, we all have situations or things that we can look back on that didn't work out, only to realize that it's what seemed like a tragedy at the time clearly worked out for the best. I know, crazy, huh? But seriously, I bet if you look back, you'll find those things. You were devastated. It was horrible. I mean, we've all been there, right? But then after a couple of months or weeks, or maybe even days went by, you start to see that it was better that you didn't get that. So I know that I'm 100% the reason why Richard and I didn't achieve what we were working hard for. And when you're in the moment, it's most of the time going to be impossible to realize that what you didn't get this time was a good thing, right? I'm having a really hard time envisioning that. But maybe this not getting or achieving that thing that you wanted so badly was actually a fork in the road. Maybe it's something that's redirecting us to something much better. So try, right? I mean, I know I have to move on. I can't keep beating myself up over this, and I'm already starting to work towards that something better. Hi, Sarah. Good morning. Good to see you. So, whatever you're feeling like you missed out on, the thing that slipped through your grasp, make an effort to glance up the road. And if you do so, you might be able to see that this failure could very well be in your benefit. Even if what you wanted might not be harmful or a detriment to your life moving forward, the sheer disappointment of falling short can easily provide the motivation you need to go after something even better, right? And maybe that's what it is. Maybe because you're so disappointed, you're going to give it everything you have to go after the next best thing, right? So there's so many examples of people achieving fantastic things and accrediting their success to past failures, story after story. There's so many of them, right? So what if you've done both of these things, but still honestly believe that you're supposed to have the thing that avoided you? Well, if this is the case, regroup and try again. Don't give up now. I guarantee you that most of the things worth having are not going to come easy, right? If this were the case, they wouldn't be nearly as fulfilling when we do get them. So if something that you didn't get or achieve is constantly is staying in your mind, this could be very well be a sign that it was meant for you, just maybe not right now. Maybe you're just not quite ready yet, right? Only you can determine whether or not something is right for you. But once you've made that decision that it is, be ready to fight for it. The fact is, the life of a successful person is filled with failures. We all fail over and over and over and over again, right? That's how we learn. It's how we deal with these failures that separates the winning in the long run from going through life resentful and feeling sorry for yourself. Don't ever allow yourself to give up in the pursuit of anything that you truly believe is supposed to be yours. You got this, and so do I. So go after it. So, hey, now I'd love to hear from you. Can you think of times when you failed and were devastated, only to figure out later that it was a good thing because it opened things up for something better? What kinds of things help you to keep going after you've had a disappointment like that? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories. Thank you, Sarah, for being live with me today, and anyone else who might be live who just hasn't commented, and anyone who's watching the replay. I appreciate you. So go out there and have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.